do you get that insider tag?
Yeah. How's that help?
Is that like Twitter
about?
verification? How's that work? Does it cost you $8 a month at NFL Network?
Have you seen now they're doing the so you
Official.
have still the blue check, but then the official.
Yeah.
I saw Rappaport tweeted this morning had official. I texted him. I said, "What is that?" He said, "I don't know." The blue check has always been the you're official.
Hey,
That's what it
it's
is.
really you.
Now it's $8 to just say, "Yeah, I'm that guy."
Official.
To get the blue check, and then the tiny official.
But we don't see
If you're
the
official.
official. Like if you look at their,
It's not on the
Twitter.
desktop. It's on mobile.
Oh, it's on the mobile.
Yeah.
That's
Got
where I
it.
saw it. Was
Yeah,
on
it's
the Twitter app.
Yeah, it's on the mobile.
The insider tag. Technically, I was reporter.
Right.
Until like a few months ago.
That's what I mean. You got bumped up.
And it was just quietly all of a sudden just put in there. I think it's just a function of that's how we operate on TV. Like my job is very much divided between on Sunday mornings here on NFL Network, I'm at a game, I'm on the sideline, I'm doing interviews, I'm doing all the things the reporters do. But then any other day of the week, I'm probably in my basement delivering news and doing that side of things. So at some point they were just like, hey, well, I'd tell it to you this way. The main reaction I got when people saw the new title was, what were you before? Just, yeah, they just kind of gave the title that was what I was doing at my job. So looking forward to talking to Dwight Freeney later on in the show. Again, digging more in. Jeff Saturday has now stopped talking. So I think
It's finally done.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Jeff Saturday, as a head coach, you have 5 press conferences a week. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, post-game on Sunday.
Yep.
So every day, new layers, and depending what happens on Sunday against the Raiders, a team that Saturday tweeted a week ago was horrible.
I love that.
When he was still an analyst on a TV network, was complaining about Devontae Adams.
I mean, they were horrible.
handicapping
Let's be honest.
his fantasy team, not putting up points. Have we ever had a game where you go into it and the player on the other team knows the head coach has him on his fantasy team? What happens to the fantasy team?
That might be a first, really.
Oh, he has to pass that off to like one of his kids, right?
Depends if it's for money. I think you can technically play. Calais Campbell has said that he's got his fantasy team. He didn't start Devin Duvernay in that early season game where Duvernay had the long touchdown.
We know players play fantasy all the time.
One of the famous stories ever is Chris Cooley was playing against himself in a game that he had 3 touchdowns.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
My question on that is just, how do you not draft yourself?
Exactly. Someone snabbed him before.
If I'm in a reporter fantasy draft, I may not think I should go number 1, but I'm taking myself number 1. Otherwise, I never want to be rooting against me.
But how does the scoring work on the fantasy reporter?
Oh, we can make this happen.
I would tell you. Let me tell you something about that,
scoring
TJ. There's a lot of different ways that you can measure it, and the news breaking aspects of things in something as competitive as the NFL is unique because do you credit the person who had the interest? Let's say it's a trade.
Right.
You credit the person who initially they're talking. Do you have the closing? Do you credit the closing in person? Do you credit it's final now?
It's official.
Do you credit the person who has the compensation? And we spend.
I do like the compensation tweets.
It's a good one.
I do like those.
So those are fun. When you have the entire thing, you know why it's great for us is because then there's nothing left for anyone else. There's nothing anyone else can find. If you just have this guy's getting traded, someone else can go for a 2nd-round pick.
Right.
If you've got the whole thing, it's
Over the
just,
top.
well,
Checkmate.
on to the next one.
What do you get for like they're looking for a house in a city?
Oh, I
like, or
love
something
Those
like
ones, as I
I
lower
love
my
the
chair, I
real
knew this was
estate.
going to happen at some point.
I love the real estate ones.
Yeah, like the real estate.
Tom Brady years ago, his house in New England's on the market.
Those can mean anything. There's so many things.
I
Like
love those.
the random Twitter people. I have my DMs open. All right, I'm maybe making a mistake announcing this on a free streaming TV
mine are
show
also
and radio
open,
show. But the DMs are open because every now and then someone will send me something that's actually right. 99 out of 100
I was going to say, what's the hit
are
rate?
made up or just completely wrong. I heard this from this guy. And some people will get one right, and then they'll send me 10 wrong ones.
Right.
And so it becomes very apparent that they may have just lucked out on the first one. But bring it on. Bring on the DMs. I will check them out because that's one thing at this point in covering the NFL that we've come to learn, which is you have to check everything. Because things that sounded crazy a few years ago, especially trades, those are now real. I remember I was out with my wife to dinner. You can imagine how well this went over, but this is a common story. And got a call from a text, Why are the Chiefs shopping Tyreek Hill?
And you went, they are?
And I went, let me find out. And then 3 days later,
he gone.
Tyreek Hill ends up getting traded to the Dolphins. But it was several days of what's actually happening here, because that sounds like a bonkers thing, but it was real. And a team that wasn't involved in the trade talks called me because they, like everyone else, got a call from the agent saying, hey, Tyreek's available. Would you pay him $25 million a year? Would you pay him $30 million a year? And that whole thing was messed up for a variety of reasons that we can get into later, how that whole thing played out with Tyreek. But the point is, you hear things that sound like in another NFL, there's no way they're right. And now it's like, well, kind of got to ask.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.